Well, hey, good afternoon, my sweet Kit Kats. How is everybody? It is a nasty, foggy little day here in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. If you're seeing the red light button, you're catching me live, but you might be catching me on the replay at this point. Please just put in your comments, hashtag replay for me. I would greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, come on in, say hello so I can welcome you in, and let's have a little fun today. There is my sweet Donna Sue. She is name number 1 on our live today. How are you, sweetie? Hi, Darlene. Nice to see you. You are number 2 watcher. How was your Christmas? Just writing down my names here, and we will wait for number 3. It's Mom Sharon Hall. Holy cannoli. Hi, beautiful mom. How are you? So every live, I have been writing down the first 3 people that I see. Hi, Pamela, darling. And your name will go into our drawing, right, for our grand prize here at the end. Hi, Carol. How are ya? Hi, Darlene. How's it going? Hey, Courtney. Nice to have you guys. Yay. Donna Sue, you're in there a couple times. Hi, sweet Trish. Sister. How are you? Hey, Cheryl. How was everybody's holiday? Did you all have a great Christmas? Hi, Elaine. Nice to see you. You're doing good, Donna Sue. Are you gone now? Are you traveling? Hey, my sweet Carol Ann. Nice to see you. Hi, Bon. Nice to have you. Guys, check out my new mug. Hi, sweet Della. My daughter Sarah got this for me for Christmas, and I love it. Hey, Martha, nice to see you. Hey, Denise. Hi, sweet Carrie. How is everybody? How is my beautiful Denise doing today? Thank you, Cheryl, for the sprinkle, and Della. Yeah, it is super, super foggy out here today. Hi, Joanne. Hey, Kim. Nice to see you, hun. I had thought about possibly going out and trying to do a little like after Christmas shopping, and I decided against it. Hey, sweet Kathy. It was good, Donna Sue. Thank you, hun. Nice to see you, Courtney. You were home by yourself, Darlene. Oh, I'm sorry, hun. Hi, Nora. Sunday. You come back on Sunday? Nice to have you, my beautiful Denise. So nice to see all of you. Hey, Stephanie. And just like that, it's over, isn't it? Well, hello, Joanne. Nice to have you. I always kind of marvel at that, how much we do for preparation and all the things. And then just like that, Christmas is over, right? My son will come next week. Oh, Darlene, that sounds so nice. I'm excited for you. Thank you, Denise, for the sprinkle. It was peaceful, Courtney. I'm so glad. Stephanie, you sent me a message in Messenger. Okay, darling, was it today? Because I thought I looked yesterday. Hey, Joy, nice to see you, dear. Hi, Valerie, my darling. So it's just kind of a chill, laid-back kind of day here for me. Oh, you leave on Sunday, Donna. I'm sorry, hon. Hi, Natalie. Nice to see you, dear. Hey, Joy. How is everybody? What is everybody up to today? I hope you did too, Trish. Thank you. We did. It was very nice. Sarah and my son-in-law and sweet little Henley came yesterday. Yes, it's just gone already. Isn't that crazy? Hi, Roxanne, dear. And it was so nice. Just moments ago. Okay, Steph, my dear. I will look after the live, okay, hon? Watching Henley with her little presents and such was just so stinking sweet. And in her little Christmas jammies and all the things. You were home alone too, Courtney, hon. I'm sorry, dear. Working and listening. Thank you, Roxanne. I appreciate it. So we had a nice time. She still wasn't like completely into the gift opening. I think next year she will be. You're on your way home from Hobby Lobby shopping. It was busy. I can imagine it. That's why I was like, do I really want to go out and be amongst all the crowd? I just wasn't feeling it. Hey, Valerie, nice to see you. So, yes, we had a wonderful day yesterday. Henley took a nice nap here so that my daughter and her husband could just kind of chill out with us. We watched a couple Christmas movies, snuggled up on the couch under blankets. It was so nice, so relaxing, all the good things. We had Christmas with my mom and my brother and his wife, and of course my daughter and her husband and Henley over the weekend also. Hey, sweet and beautiful Shauna. Nice to have you. Hi, Jamie. We have another one this coming weekend or 2, and then that'll be it for us. I've caught some type of sinus crud. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hate that kind of stuff. Hey, I'm Snow Crafty. How are you, dear? Nice to see you. So guys, we're going to do something just kind of a little laid back today. Nothing crazy or anything like that. Just kind of relax and chat a little bit. You would love to be able to go shopping, Darlene. I'm sorry. I know how much of a bummer that has to be. Hi, Allie. It was Carol Ann, and I have not forgotten about posting that amazing gift that you sent me. I've just been running out of time every day. Hey, Shannon. But I will definitely do it. Don't you worry. You guys got to see what that sweet Carol Ann sent me. So I want to do a couple things. Here's our little bag that we've been putting stuff in every time we go live, right? So we're going to put in this little, this little beaded garland, we'll call it. Thank you, Carol Ann. And it says faith, hope, and love on it. So we're going to put that in our little bag. This will be the giveaway, like the grand little prize giveaway, we'll call it. Just some little tags here, little metal tags. Hi, sweet Victoria. How are you, dear? And then we're also going to put in this little guy. I made this at the Sparkle Retreat. This was one of Justin's crafts that he provided. So I think it's absolutely adorable. Kind of blung out a little bit, born to sparkle. So that's going to go in here as well. Hey, Cheryl. But even, hi, Jean. Could do me drag shopping. I know it, right, Kim? Hi, Suzanne. Nice to see you. I mean, I've done it before and it wasn't horrible, but yeah, today when I woke up, I just was not feeling it. All right, so that's gonna go in there too. So we're getting a nice little arrangement of all kinds of goodies in there. Hi, Ruth. I'd say about another couple weeks and we'll pull for a winner on that. So if you are one of the first 3 people that hop on my live, I write your name down and put you in for the drawing. How are you, Cheryl? Nice to see you. Hi, Ruth. Good to see you too, hon. Hi, sweet Rennie. How is everybody? Gosh, what is going on here today? Hi, Carol. So then I wanted to show you this candle I started burning over the last couple of days. I hope so, Darlene. I think it'll be nice. Hey, Stacy. Good morning, sweet Tammy. How are you, darling? So this is one of the candles that I decoupage with that amazing candle glue. Hi, Regine. Hey, Deb. And I told you guys I wanted to burn it so that we could kind of see together how it works. It's going to be a good one, Carrie. It'll be full of lots of happy things. It's just my little way of giving back, you know? Hi, Tina. So this is the one that we put the little deer on, little rice paper, and we use that Pentart candle glue. It is so addicting, guys, I gotta tell you. So if you need to check out the candle glue, it's !THDECOR. You can find that on my link to TH Decor. Plus other gift cards. That's so nice, Shauna. Oh my gosh, $50 is easily spent, right? Hey, sweet Lisa, nice to see you. So it is burning completely down the inside and leaving kind of the shell of what's left on the outside. Courtney, me too, hun. Rennie, it is so nice to have you, hun. I hope you're doing okay. So the only weird thing that happened with this one, hey, Teresa, darling, is it got this like bubble right here. And it is burnt down to just about right there. So I'm not sure if it was the candle itself or what the deal is. Hi, Suzanne, darling, nice to have you. But the rest of it is just burning, you know, like completely down the inside and leaving this little shell left. How fun is that? Hi, Laverna. How are you, Teresa? So I wanted to show you, it is definitely able to be burned if you follow all those little guidelines that we did along the time that we did this one. Oh my goodness, I'm just a mess today. Isn't that fun? Thank you, Teresa. So if you decide to do something like that, of course, I watched it quite a bit just to kind of see what it was going to do. Hi, Gloria. How are you, hon? I hope you had a good holiday. And it was great. And I just set it on like a little decorative plate. Hi, Lisa. When I burn candles like this, I usually like to burn them 4, 5, 6 hours the first time. Thanks, Shauna. Just so they kind of get good and hot. You know what I mean? Hi, Diana. And we burnt it, my gosh, I can't even tell you how many times, and it didn't really go down as far as what I thought. I thought it was going to go super quick, and then we just had this like weird bubble, but it was fine. Nothing bad happened to it. Wonderful. Candle glue is amazing. How are you, Lisa? So I wanted to show you that. All right, so we're going to just have a little fun today. Simple fun, laid back fun on this bottle. Hi, Diana. Nice to see you. Isn't that so fun? I'm really having a good time doing the candles, guys. And I think they can make great gifts. Oh, that's happy, Courtney. I love Amazon gift cards too. Is the shell super hard? It isn't. It's pretty, I mean, it's kind of fragile. There's my Victoria back under Old to Ooh La La Art, guys. If you need anything IOD, that is the lady you want to go visit. Old to Ooh La La Art. I just got my new mold. Let's see here, because I'm kind of excited to use some of these at Valentine's nighttime little angels. Hi, Jennifer. Nice to see you. So this is the Angelic Tapers from IOD. And I think we can do a lot of pretty fun things with these for Valentine's Day. Hi, Sweet Beth. Nice to see you. So Victoria at Old to Ooh La La Art, she is your IOD person if you need anything IOD related. Hey, Kathy, just check out her page, Old to Ooh La La Art. And you can go to the link that is up in the top portion of her page, or Victoria, sweet lady, if you want to share it here, you're more than welcome. So yeah, this is pretty fragile, I would say. Like if I push this in on both sides, it would definitely cave in, you know. 500, Kim. Oh my God, is that what you meant to put in there? Hi, Joy. Hey, Candy. Nice to have you. That is amazing. So yeah, but still kind of cool because then we have that little shell that's going to be left, and I think that's kind of neat. Maybe we can do something else with it when I get it burnt all the way down. How are you, Joy? So this was a bottle I showed you guys last week. All I did to this was Zinsser Spray Prime It, which I love to do. You can also use, I have been really loving the Premium Plus 2-in-1 Primer from Paint Couture. I really, really like this. You basically paint a coat or two of this on, let it dry really well, and then you can do what you need to your bottle. If you're gonna decoupage, say rice paper or a napkin on it, then you just wanna paint it a neutral or a whitish color behind so that the rice paper pops beautifully, but this works really nice. I would say put it on and let this sit a good 12 hours before you do anything, just to kind of let it do its thing. And of course, Paint Couture you can get at my link on my link tree for all paint products. Those would be pretty on a candle, right, Tammy? I agree. Thank you, sweet Victoria. There it is right there, the oolalashop.com. Hi, Dana. Nice to see you. So also what I did on this, thank you, Shauna. I'm not complaining, but I sure would have loved it for IOD, right? Oh, how fun, though. That's wonderful. You want the cloche mold. It is great. I'm going to have to be making some more of those castings shortly. Hi, Sharon. So good to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here with me. So this particular mold that I put on here is from Redesign. This is the one. And these are Form Flex molds that I attached on here. So all I did was use a little Tight Bond Quick and Thick, attach these on, and then like wrapped around my co-band or my vet tape, if you want to call it that. Hey, CJ. Thank you, sweet Shauna. Yes, welcome in anybody who is new. Let us know if you're new so we can welcome you. There's my beautiful and sweet Debbie. Merry Christmas, darling. I just wrapped this around it super, super tight. I let it sit like that for several hours so that it puts pressure on your mold, and I didn't have to sit there and hold on to it, you know? Oh, that's so happy, Jennifer. I'm glad to hear it. Hi, Katarina. Nice to see you. Country Family Roots. Hey, girl. Hey, how are you? Long time no see, sweet lady. Nice to have you, Sandra. I love that mold too. So Formflex is that modeling compound that stays kind of flexible, so I could push this down where I wanted it. I looked for those but couldn't find them. Couldn't find what, sweet Darlene? Hi, Wilma. The cloche, is that what you're saying? And then I did a little mixture here of some paints that I had gotten at the Sparkle Retreat. My sisters love the bottle and box. Oh, Debbie, I'm so glad they did. I was wondering if you're going to tell me. I am so glad. So these little paints came from Kathy D at the Sparkle Retreat. This is New Penny and Licorice from Paint Pixie. And I just put whatever was left in these bottles in my little throwaway container here. Did a little mixing to get that kind of royal bronze, I think she calls it. The molds. The IOD ones, Darlene? Or is there one in specific that you're looking for, hon? So I decided I wanted this to be a little bit more coppery. And what I did first to this was paint it with a black chalk paint. Doesn't have to be perfect. Hi, Christine. But for me, anytime I'm painting sort of a metallic-y color over something, I find that having a black surface first really helps. You don't need as much product then. And I just use a basic black chalk paint that I get from Michael's right here. Hi, my sweet Barbara. Merry Christmas, hun. And kind of put that on first, let it dry, and then started painting in this color. Hey, Debbie. So we are going to just add a little bit more of this copper color. The one I put on the bottle. Oh, I think, I'm trying to remember where I got that one. I want to say it might be available on Etsy. I'm not 100% sure. Hi, Jane. Hi, Eileen. Nice to see you. So this is just a metallic folk art antique copper. We're going to pour a little bit of this in there. And I love these little containers because then I can reuse it. Just pop my little lid on there. Hello, Eileen. Nice to have you, dear. And we're going to use a little popsicle stick, kind of stir that around. I usually don't put a ton of bling on things. Hi, Pat. Nice to have you. But I think we're going to actually bling out these fleur-de-lis on each side. And that is because I had ordered, you can go to Totally Dazzled and get little packages like this of rhinestones. So glad to see you, Barbara. I hope you're doing okay. Hi, B. Hey, Carol. Nice to see you, Christine. So these are coffee colored, and I thought that would be super pretty on this bottle. I love it too, Kim. Thank you, hun. And then these are amber colored, so we might do some of both. So you can also find amazing deals and all the good things at Totally Dazzled. Of course, if you need that link, it's !Dazzled, DAZZLED. This is a favorite color too. If you don't have the paint pixie paints, you can definitely make something super close to it. I would just use a, you can do a metallic black and then the antique copper like this one from Folk Art, and it comes pretty close. And you just kind of start, you know, adding and mixing to see if it's what you'd like. So we're going to do a little bit more. Thank you, Carrie. I have some shipments to get out here this afternoon or tomorrow morning. Hey, Tammy. So if you are expecting something from me, Sweet Shauna, Kelby, Trish, and then a couple other little surprises. Hey, Becky. We'll be going out this afternoon or early tomorrow morning. Okay? So I appreciate your patience on that. Okay, so we're just gonna paint this a little bit. I do too, Courtney. It's addicting. We're gonna use a little gold wax paste on here just to kind of highlight some of the details. Hey, Shirley. We'll do a little bit of bling, and then I got this super pretty topper that we're gonna put on there. Hey, Elizabeth. I actually bought this at the Sparkle Retreat. There was a stand set up, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so pretty. So that's what kind of sparked my, my inspiration was kind of these colors for this bottle. Hi, Barbara. Nice to see you. Hey, Elizabeth. So we'll be putting that in the tub. Several unique bottles over the holidays and we'll be looking for, oh, Eileen, I love that. Thank you, Natalie. I have a ton as well. And sometimes I feel like we can go simple, and I think this will be simple, but yet very pretty. I feel like I'm still on the holidays, guys. Don't you just feel a little like, whew, you know, when you get through it, when you get through all of it? So I'm going to put a little glove on here. What is weather like where you guys are? I look out my craft room window and it is so gloomy and so foggy. Hi, Gay. Nice to see you. Welcome in. Let's do some painting. So I thought painting isn't that much fun to watch. That's why I put a couple coats on already. We'll do the drying and all the things and just see how this comes together. Now, here's the question I always ask. It is really addicting. Hi, Francis. Elegant. There you go. Yes. Thank you. I have some serious thoughts about fine line cracking this. Lovely. Hello and welcome in. Hope you are here for crafting. So we could definitely fine line crackle this. I think it would be beautiful, seeing that we have so much space left here where there's really nothing. Sun is shining in 32. That's not so bad, Darlene. Hi, Jill. Love the color. Thank you, Elizabeth. I as well. Okay, just kind of checking out here if I need to take care of something. We'll see in just a moment. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate that. I know I always tell you guys, you know, I would fine line crackle everything if I could, but I do think it would be so beautiful on here. Hi, Amy. What do you guys think? Should we just leave it simple like I talked about? Hey, Ellen. Gray and foggy in the UK with drizzle. Same here. It's 47 in Virginia and very sunny. Well, I'd take the sun any day. Right, furthers over the white stuff. Same here, Denise. Gloomy. Rainy and yuck. Yes, low 60s and cloudy, supposed to rain. I'd take 60s any day. Hey, Deborah. Hi, Lucille. Nice to have you. So we could just leave this simple and do what I kind of talked about. Hey, Mary Beth, and 77. Beth, I'll be right over. It's not sunny, but about 76. Judy, I'll visit you there too as well. 39 degrees. Hi, Daniel Rose. Nice to see you. Not sunny, but 58. That would be nice too. I don't even know what the temp is here, but it's drizzly, rainy. Hi, Catherine. And just seems like a super good day to chill out, to do not much of anything, to maybe eat leftovers, take a nap. Hey, Carla. Cloudy and 0. Oh my gosh, Tina. Happy holiday, Mary Beth. Nice to have you. Because if we did the fine line, we would put probably gold in the cracks. I think that could be so pretty. But gloomy, Christine, 64 isn't so bad. You would like to see it, Eileen? That sounds great. I would love to do it because it's one of my favorite looks, especially on old bottles. I have tons of them myself. 57 in Tennessee, in and out, but we had rain coming and it's going to be here for a week. Oh, that's so depressing, right? Thank you, Beth. 67 by Cheryl. That's not terrible either. It's definitely not super cold here, otherwise it wouldn't be raining. I'm going to put you down here in just a little bit too once I set this down so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. So Fine Line Crackle is my favorite. Hi, Paula. Nice to see you. Fine Line Crackle it. Okay, Cheryl. We are doing the leftover ham. We are going to do that as well, Lucille. Right now, Eileen, this is just a color that I mixed together. I had gotten some little containers of paint at the Sparkle Retreat in Ohio when I went there several months back. And this is Paint Pixie. It is the color Licorice and the color New Penny. Hey, sweet Tina. And then I just added a little bit of folk art antique copper. I wanted a little bit more of that coppery hue to it, I would say. And I will hold up those bottles for you in just a second. So I just took a little throwaway container. I call it a little condiment container. Mix my paints in there with a little popsicle stick. They come with lids. And that's what I'm putting on right now. So we'll want to make sure that we have this good and dry before we put on our Fine Line Crackle. That is that 2-component system from Pentart. Hey, Kimberly, nice to see you. Thank you, sweet Shauna. Hi, Martha. Don't know if there are enough hankies. Oh, no, Ellen, what's wrong, hon? Are you okay? Unless I read your message wrong. So I have been putting gloves on when I've been doing some crafting lately. 49 and raining, Carla. Hey, Beth. Lots of rain today, it seems. Just to keep my hands from drying out more than they already are. I still haven't gone out and gotten something for them. Maybe now that things are kind of calming down, I can do that. So it's Pentart, the Fine Line Crackle. And we've done it many times. You can definitely find replays of things I've done the fine line on because I love it so much. But I'll go through everything again when we get that far. I think it's gonna be gorgeous. So that is the only that is the only crackle system that requires a solvent-based varnish when you are sealing it. So if you go to TH Decor, !TH Decor, hi Carol, you can find the Fine Line Crackle. It comes in a couple different sizes. And I will hold those up for you here in a moment. So these are the colors that I mixed together. Licorice and New Penny from Paint Pixie. Hey, Deborah. Hi, Mary. Sunny in Pennsylvania, 38 degrees. Holy cannoli, 38, but I'll take the sun. You still have it, Ellen? I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better soon. Up to 20 there, Jean. That's good. Hi, Ruth. Gosh, I forgot to look what it is here in Wisconsin. Nice to have you, Deborah. 44 by Della. Okay, just make sure I didn't miss anybody. If I did, please know that I'm happy to have you. If you're new, welcome into you. Hey, sweet Linda. You're resting? That's good. Are you not feeling good, hun? Yeah, I usually check the weather before I go live so I can tell you guys. So let me see here. While I'm kind of drying, I'm gonna reach for my fine line crackle. I did, Linda. I hope you did too. Hey, Stephanie. All right. So it comes in 2 different sizes. You can either get the 50 mil. Thank you, Sheila. Hi there. Well, thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that. Ruth is new from Missouri. Welcome into you, dear. I appreciate you being here. So this is the 50 mil size. This is component 1. Then you get another little container the same size that is component 2. Exhausted. Girl, that is how I feel. Hi, Suzanne. That's why I was like, let's just do something a little more on the simple side today. Or you can get it in the 230 mil container. And this would be component 2. It says that in that little orange box, and then you would get another one this size that has component 1. Merry Christmas, sweet Sheila. And then you need a varnish that is solvent-based. Hi, sweet Lynn. And there's a couple that you can use. So you can do the glossy solvent-based varnish. It says right there in that little orange box, solvent-based. And then sometimes I use the clear varnish as well. These are all from Pentart. Hey, sweet Vicky. Thank you guys so much for giving Ruth a nice warm welcome. How are you, Lynn? How is that sweet baby? Hi, my beautiful cat. How are you? So let me see what I lost my train of thought for a second. My apologies. The step 1 and step 2 are sold together. Hi, Sharon. And then you have to make sure you purchase that solvent-based varnish separately. Hi, Georgianne, nice to see you. And those we'd all find out at TH Decor. If you go out there and are kind of just peeking around and looking for crackle, if you type in fine line in the search engine in the upper right, that's gonna come up with all your options, sizes, good things like that. That's what I find to be the easiest way to kind of navigate that website. Merry Christmas to you, Ellen. I sure hope that you feel better soon. Hey, sweet Tammy. Hi, Elaine. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it so much. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas, that you're able to do a little relaxing now that it's over, right? Sweet Kath, how are you doing? Hi, Christina. We're just kind of making over a bottle. I guess you can see me okay here. 6 months old, Lynn. Oh my gosh. Hi, sweet Rose. Thank you for joining me, hon. Hi, Jen. Sweet Henley turned 16 months old yesterday. Aw, Kathy, thank you so much for the stars. I appreciate that so much. To leave your home around 6 a.m. tomorrow. Oh no, Courtney. What do you have to do, dear? Greg is working today, yep. You're still in PJs, Debbie? That sounds happy. No post-Christmas Day sales for me. Yes, definite prayers for our sweet Rose. Hi, Martha. And of course, for anyone else who might need them. I really wanted to stay in my PJs today and stay in bed also, but I forced myself. And I didn't get to bed until, gosh, it must have been after 3 o'clock this morning. I could not sleep. So I just did some reading. All right, we want to make sure this is super good and dry, but we're going to do the bottom quick as well, as long as we have it out here, because I like it finished all the way around. And you can do something like this on so many different things. Maybe you don't have access to get some of those funky bottles, right? You're still in your PJs, Judy. That's good. Hi, Allison. Welcome into you. You can use any kind of jars, you know, that you might have around your home. So maybe you have a like an old spaghetti jar would work great. Thanks for asking. Hope you had a nice Christmas. Poor Greg. I know he was like, this isn't right. And he could have burnt up a little vacation, but he wanted to save what he had for next year. You're always up late, Carol Ann. Same. I mean, I'm normally a night person, but sometimes I have a little insomnia. 16 months. Isn't that crazy, Debbie? I feel that same way. Every time I look at her, I'm like, what the heck? So yeah, like an old pickle jar, a spaghetti jar, any kind of stuff like that works great for these things. Little mason jars are beautiful for you to adhere on molds if you so choose, or do your rice papers and all the fun things. All right, just want to make sure I'm getting this real good, because once we start with our fine line, that's that. It is a chalk paint, Cheryl. At 4 this morning, really? A thunderstorm. I know it will last a while, I'm sure. Rose, sweet lady, I'm sending you hugs, hun. I slept till 11 with... You're tired out fast. I did get dressed. Oh, Linda, hun, I'm so sorry. Doctor's appointment. Courtney, I hope everything goes okay for you. One of my grandchildren has been... let's see, what's Suzanne? Oh, you get to celebrate tomorrow. That's so nice. You're sad, Ellen, that she's going back to Tennessee. I would be too. PJs sound good, real good. I think I finished my thought, I'm pretty sure. Yes, a black chalk paint, but you could do any kind of a acrylic or chalk, you know, chalk paint if that's what you have around. Doesn't have to be anything special. That's just, it seems to be really nice for coverage. What is your mold product used? I had to get dressed. I am working. So sorry, Lynn. I still have money left on it. That's happy, Jennifer, hon. What I put in the mold, this is Form Flex, if that's what you're asking, Ellen. That's that compound that stays flexible. So you can kind of curve it around surfaces, all the good things. I see just a couple more spots up here. Sorry about the painting part. That's more boring than anything, right? And once we get a good dry on here again, I'm gonna hold this up close because this color, you just don't get the gist of it unless you see it. I wish you were all right here. Oh, she loves listening to you, Kelly. He's a sweetie. Her name is Millie. Oh, that's so fun, Cheryl. Millie, what a sweet name. Been this way for 12 years. I'm used to it. Linda, I did not know that, hon. I'm sorry. It's sad that we have to get used to those things, isn't it? But yeah, we had a wonderful time with sweet little Henley. She is the silliest little thing, let me tell you. And she's done so good with all the hustle and the bustle of the holidays and the go here and pack up and go there and, you know, different hours than what she's used to staying up till and all the things. Hi, sweet Lisa. Sweet Judy, tell you about the Form Flex. You put it in the freezer, then what? So I use cornstarch in my molds if I'm using the Form Flex. That is the only thing I use when I'm using Form Flex is cornstarch. Hi, sweet Sheila. So I filled my molds with it. I kind of get off that excess. Did you paint the bottle black first? I did, sweet Shauna. I sure did. Just a run-of-the-mill chalk paint, a black chalk paint. How are you, sweet Sheila? Then I get that excess Form Flex off the top, just like you would if you're using clay or anything else. And I stick it in the freezer for a good 20 minutes. Longer if it is a more intricate mold, I will say. And then when I take it out, I immediately release the castings from the mold. So you kind of pull on the mold to kind of release it a little bit before you start to try and get it out. Hi, Susan. And then I put them on a piece of parchment paper and I let them sit for a good 24 hours. Hi, Linda. Until I do anything with them. And that is just my preference. They're going to be super soft once they come back to room temperature. So the freezing helps get them out of your molds nice and easy. How are you, Susan? Merry Christmas. And then when they kind of get back to temperature, hi, Branya, beautiful lady. They're going to be super soft, so I keep them on my parchment paper so they don't stick to anything. I kind of set them aside to make sure that I don't accidentally drop something on them or whatever. And in about 24 hours, then I can do with what I want to them. They're going to have cured a little bit, I'll say. They're not going to be as soft, but they will be flexible. If you don't want to use them right away, just put them in a container in between layers of parchment paper. Hi, Mary. And put a lid on it, something that seals, and you will be good to go. Ruth, I live in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. How is Mary Scott today? Nice to see you. And then you can just kind of pull them out when you want to use them. So I sometimes make a ton of castings and then just store them so I have them for projects. Does that help you with the form flex? All right, we're almost done here. I just see a little bit where it's a little bit wet down there. Hi, sweet Liz, nice to see you. That could be perfect for this, sweet Lynn. The chocolate decor metal matte color from Pentart would be beautiful. This is a combination of licorice from Paint Pixie. You're welcome, sweet Judy. And then New Penny from Paint Pixie. And I just had a little bit left in those bottles, so I added that to my little container with just a bit of this antique copper from Folk Art. How's my sweet Lynn? I put it in a little container like this, mixed it together till I got what I was looking for. But the chocolate, I will hold that one up here. That would be beautiful on this also. If you ever have questions, sweet Judy, you just let me know. I'm happy to help. Okay, we'll call that good for now. And then I can just put my lid on here and this will stay great. All you gotta do then is give it a little mix when you're ready to use it. You woke up with a sore throat, Mary? I'm sorry. I hope it goes away quickly because there's so much stuff, right? So this is the chocolate decor metal matte from Pentart. Would be gorgeous. It has that sparkle to it. It is so beautiful. It's one of my favorites. But if you take a peek up close on this one, there is some sparkle to this too. It's just so hard to see on camera, but it is gorgeous. All right, so let's put our brush in the drink. So the most important thing to remember with your fine line crackle is it does not like water. Look like the chocolate metallic. Thank you, Lynn. Does anyone know of a mold with a golf theme? Shauna. It is fun. I like mixing too. Well, thank you, Eileen. Hey, Griselda, nice to see you, darling. Thank you, Linda. I do not. Hi, Laura. But I am betting if you went to Amazon, you could probably find something. Just type in there silicone mold golfing, something like that. I bet you'd get a ton. So you want to use clean, dry brushes for each of your steps of your fine line crackle. We're going to put on step number 1. It says component 1 there. Hi, Cindy. I just got the chocolate decor for Christmas. Happy, Judy. Have you used it yet? So let's see here. Let me get a clean, dry brush is what we're going for. Hey, Teresa. And then once we put this step on, we're going to put that brush away. We're not going to use it again. Hi, Lynn. Once that first step is dry, then we're going to come in with component 2 and another clean, dry brush. So I will say if you are doing this on your own, once you put on step number 1, I do a little bit of drying to it. Hi, James. Thank you, Shauna. With my heat tool, and then I set it in front of a fan and let it do the rest of its drying on its own. You will love it. You will love it. Do you ever use white glue for crackle? I have, Kim. I sure have. It works wonderful. Hi, Edna. I haven't done that type of crackle in some time, but I do like the larger cracks that you get with it. Morphology, hello and welcome. Okay, sweet Shauna. I haven't seen any that I recall off the top of my head, but you know they make something of everything. So what you're doing here is putting a nice even layer, doesn't have to be super thick, of your component 1. This looks like, you know, the white glue, we'll say. And what I'm looking to not do is go up and down. Hi, Carolyn. Oh, good, Judy, hon. Hi, Mara. I don't want to go up and down with my brush strokes because then I'm kind of removing some of the product that I just laid down. And when I start to get a little drag right there where I'm running out of product, then I want to put a little bit more on my brush. So white glue is larger cracks than fine line crackle. It is. Yes, Kim, my darling. Thank you, sweet Barbara. I appreciate that. So, and I don't put a whole lot on my brush at a time. And I don't fill the whole brush with it either. I kind of do just the end. That's just my preference. So you can about see what I'm putting on there. Hey, Cindy. Prayers to anyone who needs them. We all need them, right? That's how I feel. All right, and then I think I'll do a little bit of a smaller brush on the very inside portions there of the fleur-de-lis and see if we can't get a little crackle there too. The key is to make sure that each component is super, super dry before you apply the next one. So when we finish applying this, we want this to disappear completely. Hi, my sweet and beautiful Giselle. Nice to have you, hon. Merry Christmas to you. I hope that you had a wonderful holiday, all of you. This is going to disappear when it is nice and dry, and then I usually test it out with the back of my hand because my hands can be a little bit clammy at times. That's okay, Giselle. You're never late, my darling. Gosh, I don't know quite how to say your name. Genia, is that how you pronounce it? Hello and welcome. And fine line does not like any water. So damp fingers, no baby wipes, no products that have water in them, so no water base. Let's see what else. You can use your wax paste, your antique paste. You can use mica, pigment powders. All those things are fine in your fine line crackle. I like using metal pigments in them. But if you're looking for something a little bit more aged looking, you could use the antique paste. That looks beautiful. Hi, Lily. Happy holidays. Hey, Dorabelle. So if I were to kind of test out to make sure it's dry with wet fingers, it can tend to gum up on you. Merry Christmas to you, sweet Giselle. I did. Please hit follow. Thank you, Barbara Ann. That's so kind of you. And if it doesn't, like this part isn't pretty. So if it looks like, oh my God, what is this going to turn out to be? It's going to be just fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. Just get it on there. Try to go in only one direction when you're doing your fine line on both components because we don't want to lift up what we just put down. I've never tried their their pixie dough, Barbara. And these are the only paints I think I've ever tried from them, and they are quite nice. My guess is that maybe Kathy offers them. Kathy D from Royal Funky Junk. I would think maybe Justin does. So where do you order yours from, sweet Barbara? So I can check them out. If some spots you get a little bit thicker than others, don't worry about that either. It's gonna be okay. You too, sweet Carol. How are you, hon? Trust the process. Yes, Lynn, agreed. Sometimes it looks a little wonky, and if I wasn't on a live, I wouldn't dry this all the way like we're going to. Penta would recommend that you let it dry on its own. That's going to give you the best results, but it does work if you use your heat tool on it. Hi, sweet Edie. Nice to see you. Hope you had a wonderful holiday. Do around the top here. And I kind of tell myself, you know what? However the crackle turns out, it turns out. We don't want it to be perfect. It's crackle, right? We kind of want that look. Hi, Patricia. So don't worry about it. If you have a spot where there's a little something missing, or maybe you did have a little drag on your brush, or when you're drying, you definitely want to keep your heat tool moving. Hi, Regina. If you don't, you can scorch an area a little bit. That might show up after a while when the whole process is done. I don't fret about it, We want it to be aged, old, crackled, all the things. So just keep your heat tool moving. And I will do the bottom of this off of the live. How are you, Patricia? Welcome in. How's my sweet Regina? Nice to see you. So I don't necessarily think we need to crackle the fleur-de-lis itself. Hey, Jody. So we're just doing what's left around it. And I will take a little brush here in just a second. Hi, Andrew. Nice to have you. Thank you for being here, Andrew. I hope you had a good Christmas. that's happy. Hi, Lisa. You shopped at Scrappy's. That's nice. That's fun. She's a sweetie. Just because I want to take a little brush and kind of get in where there's a little of the bottle showing in between the casting. Hi, sweet Jess. Nice to see you, dear. How are you? So at this point, for example, if I wasn't live, I would do just a little bit of drying like this, and then I would set it in front of the fan to do the rest of the drying on its own. Andrew, I know you're going to ask me to wave to you, so I'm going to wave to you right now so you can see it right away. Thanks, guys, for saying hello to Andrew. Jess, I did. I hope you did too, dear. You're doing great. I love when you say that. It makes me feel so happy. And then what I would do after that, hi, Pamela, when I'm sure that everything is super, super dry, I would take another clean, dry brush, and then I would put on step number 2. So the reason why you see 2 different size bottles here is I have a little bit of the smaller container to use up before I go to my big bottle, but that's usually what I order is the large one. That's because it's my favorite. I also pulled a little Totally Dazzled. I think we're gonna put one of these on each side. So I have this size here, and then I have kind of a tiny one in case we want to just have a small one on there. Hi, Kimberly. So you can see that one. I'm not 100% sure. You have a question, Andrew? Please let me know what it is. Thank you guys for saying hi to Andrew. He is a definite okay person to have here, so don't worry. We just have to make sure Andrew is good, right? Stays good. Your Christmas was wonderful, Jess. I'm so glad. How's your sweet mama and your family? Well, I'm glad to see you on, Kimberly, darling. Thank you. Josie, okay. Have to get used to the pixie dough. Thank you so much for putting that in there for me, dear. He was, oh, Carol, he was. It was so hard not to spoil her. So many fun things. Hi, Christina. She wasn't quite into, you know, the unwrapping, but I think next year she will. She did a couple, and then she was so excited with whatever was in there that then she just wanted to play, you know, which is fine with us. Play with the boxes, the paper, all the things. I know this part is a little boring, the drying part, but it's so worth it. Hi, Sandra Jean. And I thank you guys so much. When you do hit those hearts, that really helps the page out. I appreciate it so much. They do love the paper, Carol. Yep. She liked the tissue paper, the little ribbons and such. She really liked that too. Today's your birthday? Oh, Susan, happy birthday. Sweet 16. Oh, if I could pick an age to stay at, I would say like 40, 38 or 40. Happy birthday, sweet friend. You think she sells it, Shauna? Okay, good to know. It's a good time to visit and chat. It is. Just helped her build one of her Christmas gifts. She got another cabinet for her Cricut. Good for her. That's happy. Good. I'm glad she did. Heart and Soul Creations. Hey, girl, how are you, hon? And it was nice that you helped her. How many Cricuts does she have now? You're welcome, Susan. Happy 16th birthday, right? Not nice, Andrew. That's right. Be good, Andrew, okay? We'd love to have you here, but you have to be nice. Okay. So yeah, when you hit those hearts, guys, I really appreciate it. It does help us kind of get pushed out a little further into Never Never Land, I call it. Hello, Sharon. How are you, sweet Marcia? Too many, right, Jess? Hi, Cindy. Sharon, how are you? Welcome in. I don't know. I just feel like 38 to 40-ish is a is a good age to stay at for a good time. When they were younger. Isn't that funny, Carol? I didn't know that you had twins. Hi, Adori. How are you? Nice to see you. I saw those hearts coming through. I love it. You'd go back. You loved high school. I did not love it. Do I live near Janesville? It's a couple hours away, Linda. Yes. It was pretty good. Thank you for asking. I'm glad you're good. We're just drying the heck out of this component number 1 of our fine line crackle. Not a very exciting time, but it'll be worth it in the end, I promise. Hello, Dawn. And of course, all the sprinkles help immensely as well, so thank you guys so much. All right, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. We want all of that white to disappear. You were bullied, Jess? Oh, that breaks my heart for you. I was also. He was naughty this morning and almost blocked. Well, we hope he doesn't do that, right? Hi, Brenda. Hello, Deb. Nice to see you. That's where your grandson lives, Linda. That's awesome. 40s were the best. Yes, Elizabeth. I'm glad you're doing good. Sharon. Hi, Sherry. Nice to have you. Good afternoon, sweet Linda. Nice to see you. Andrew. Please don't, okay? Okay, our friend, please don't. If you can behave, we'd love to have you here, but if not, then I have to remove you. And you know I don't want to do that, right? Hi, Ladia, nice to see you. In case any of you don't know Andrew, he is a little bit special needs, so sometimes we just have to remind him to behave. That's all. All right. So like right now, my hands are a little sweaty, so I definitely don't want to touch my sweaty fingers to this. That's why I always use the back of my hand. That's just me. And let's say that you, you got a little something on it and you want to wipe it away. Don't use a baby wipe. That will also get it kind of goopy and nasty. Hi, Sandy. And can sometimes ruin the project, you know. So just remember, fine line doesn't like water, moisture, anything like that. Right. Thank you guys for being so patient. Hi, sweet Sheila. Nice to see you. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Hang tight. What do you guys think? Do you like the larger fleur-de-lis on here? I'll hold it up for you so you can kind of see. So we have this one or the super tiny one, because I think we're going to come in with some little rhinestones on there in that coffee and amber color. Hi, Rhonda. Nice to see you. All right. And sometimes, even though we still see that white there, hey, Pamela, it might be dry. That might just be a spot that I put it on a little bit thick, and that's okay too. So let's just kind of see. It's just a little tacky there. So we'll give it a second or two. The big one, Jess. So it would go right about, goodness gracious, right in the middle on here. I think you're probably right. The small one might be way too small. Hey, Brenda, nice to see you. I mean, this one is super, super tiny. It's very cute though. Just kind of right in the middle there. Just says the big one, and I have to agree with her on that. All right. So let's just kind of feel how we're doing here. We're gonna do just a little bit more to be on the safe side. Hi, Kathy, nice to see you. Yes, the big one. Okay, good. Okay. Just want to make sure. So the brush that I just got done using for this one will now go to be cleaned. The larger one. Okay, everybody's saying the big one. Good, good. The small one does kind of get lost. You're right. You're right. I agree. And they're not, the two that I have are not 100% the same, but they're very, very close. Hi, Denise. And I think they will be just fine. That's true. It really does kind of get lost on there, doesn't it? Oh, I was going to tell you, so the component 1 and 2 is they're both kind of sticky, gooey. The varnish, the solvent-based varnish can be super hard to get out of your brushes. If you use a little Dawn dish soap, that works really well, and I try to get at those brushes right away. I don't remember where I bought them, to be honest. I get confused. I do too, sweet Shauna. There's a lot of places that you can purchase things, right? If I leave them sit or I put them in cold water, they gum up and get like hard as a rock right away. So I try to get hot water on them right away. A little Dawn dish soap. The Dawn power spray works really well. Some people use Murphy's soap. I haven't tried that yet. You can use the scrubby soaps. I get them on Etsy. You can get them on Amazon. Those work fantastic. Hi, Barb. And I find that if I get to them right away, they last me a little bit longer. Otherwise, they get really kind of nasty, you know? How are you, Barb? Nice to see you. Hey, Erica, welcome in. All right, so now more of that is kind of disappearing. That makes me feel better. Hi, Ann, nice to have you. And so essentially kind of what you're doing here is when you put down component 1 and let it dry really good, hey, sweet Deb Krause in the house. And then when we're putting on component 2 and drying, component 2 is cracking component 1. So it's the product that's cracking. It's not necessarily your paint that's cracking, your rice paper you can do it over, a napkin, all that good stuff. It was okay, Barb. I hope yours was too. Thank you for asking. Shauna, that's okay, hon. You never have to apologize. You love it? Giselle, that's good to know. I'm going to try it next. Hi, Karen. Very large doe by your window. Really, Mom? Before the fog made your day. Oh, I'm so glad, Mom. I love you too. The scrubbies are amazing. I love them too. Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you. Okay, Andrew, there you go. How long do your scrubby soaps last? Mine is making the container it's in weird. Mine does too, Victoria Hun, and hello to you, dear. Hi, sweet Charlotte. I put it in like a little, just like a leftover container that you can get at Walmart with a lid. They're black and they have clear lids. Something that I'm not going to mind that it gets on yucky, you know? Sweet Sheila. Hi, Cindy. Nice to see you. Did you pour the fleur-de-lis? They are Form Flex, actually, darling. So this is the mold that I use for them. That scrubby soap, it does last me a pretty good while, I have to say. And I mean, I craft a lot, and I do a lot of painting and brushes and things like that. It's hard to say, but I would say months for sure. And it does get like a little bit of a film on the bottom of my container that I keep it in. Hi, Joni, welcome in. I still use that, like I'll swish my brush around in the bottom of my container and then once in a while I just rinse it out a little bit. Good to see you too, sweet Charlotte. I hope your Christmas was amazing. All right, so then I like to give it just a minute to kind of come back down to temperature because we just put so much heat on it, right? And now we're gonna add step number 2. So if you put fine line crackle over paint, let's say, you're not cracking the paint like you would with, say, your Elmer's glue or your kind of one component crackle systems. Okay, Victoria, darling. Thank you, Jess. But it's step number 2 that crackles step number 1. So just kind of keep that in mind. Have you ever taken crackle off an item? I have, Carol. I have. Let's say it's a sign, you know, a board or something that I got thrifting. You can definitely sand it off. If you have an electric sander, then it goes pretty fast. Kim, they're called scrubby soap. They're like a essential oil citrus-based soap, and on the top of it, it has like a little scrubby texture on the top of it. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it. And it works great once you get some water on it and get your brush kind of around in there. It kind of gets all that yuck out of the deeper bristles of your brush, if that makes any sense. and it saves your brushes a little bit. So now I have another clean, dry brush here, and we're gonna do the same thing, except we're gonna now put on component number 2. This one is super glossy. It's a little bit thicker. It smells good, I think, personally. And when you're drying this or setting it in front of your fan, you might look at it and say, gosh, it's not drying. It looks so glossy. It's gonna stay glossy looking. Hey, Lisa. Okay, sweet Carol, you're welcome. Kim, hi, Glenna. It makes perfect sense. Okay, good. Sometimes it's like, am I saying that right? So this component, step number 2 of the fine line, I try to watch that I don't put it on so thick that I start having drips. And that can definitely happen. It's sometimes hard to see. So I look at it under my light here. Hey, Kathy. Scrubby is fantastic. I agree. Uses Paint Pixie brushes. He loves Paint Pixie. Check with him. Thank you, Barbara. I thought he did. Hi, sweet Sybil. I will definitely do that. So when you're kind of putting this on, I would just make sure that it's just a nice even layer as best as you can. And I will say like this over a little bit of a darker color. Sometimes I'm like, where did I put it? Did I put any there? You know what I mean? Hi, Pat. Thank you, Lisa. Hello, sweet Bex. How are you, dear? How was your Christmas? All the things. And same thing. I try not to go up and down in my brush strokes. You know what I mean? You're working, Bex? Well, I'm happy that you stepped in, hon. I hope you're okay. And this could be the place where maybe I miss a whole section of this. It's been known to happen because it all kind of starts looking the same. Don't worry. Do not worry. That is okay. Hello, Kathy from Alabama. Nice to have you. Hey, Shelly. Welcome into you. So you would think with this being a little thicker, it would tend to not run or drip. But I find that it does if you put it on a little bit too thick. And what I would suggest, if you notice a drip as you're kind of going back around, is like I noticed some right here. I'm just like barely touching the product and just kind of dragging it down a little bit so I don't have a big blob of it there, you know? I will say the longer it dries, the harder it is to kind of remove that. Oh, Bex, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations, sweetheart. That's amazing. And that is also why on this step, I like to do a little bit of drying, because if I can give it just a bit of a head start, I feel like I don't get those drips then. So now I'm just kind of looking. I see a spot that I completely missed. So I go super, super light there so that I'm not removing what I already put down. Does that make sense? I think it does. Same thing there. I'm missing a big spot, and I can only see that because I see that it's not as shiny in one spot when I look at it from my light. Let's do the top here. Sorry if I'm missing comments, guys. Hi, Marianne. Nice to see you. I'm so glad to have you. Guys, I will be having a little bit of a silent auction here within the next week, I would say. So be on the lookout for that. Just a few items that I kind of have left over from the past couple of weeks. All right. Let's see here. What else can we talk about, guys? And then before we know it, it's the new year. How crazy, right? Okay. Well, thanks, Lisa. Let's see what else we got here. You're welcome, Bex. It's so exciting. All right. I think I'm good. I don't want to miss anybody, but sometimes that happens when I'm focusing. So we are going to dry this. And this is where the crackle is gonna start happening. Hi, Linda. Just always make sure to keep your heat tool going. I would say that with any product actually, because you can scorch products. If I were to just leave my heat on one area for way too long, it's gonna get way too hot. We don't want it to get gooey or scorchy or any of that kind of stuff. Now it takes a little bit for those cracks to be seen, so don't worry. It does get confusing, right, Sheila? I agree. No need to be sorry, sweet Shauna. I don't know what we're doing yet for the new year. It's always a little bit of a hard time for me because my dad passed away on January 1st. Let's see, we're gonna be at 27 years ago. You know, that just never quite goes away, does it? So if you're doing a little drawing like this and you set it in front of the fan and you come back to it and say, Kelly girl, I don't see any cracks. What is she talking about? Take your heat tool, your blow dryer, what have you, and put a little more heat to it. It's sometimes the difference in temperatures as well. So if I put it in front of my cool fan and then come back with a little heat, you're gonna see more crackle. And the reason we wanna use the solvent-based varnish to seal this, that is what is going to stop that reaction from happening. So if I left this sit overnight and came back to it tomorrow morning and hit it with a little bit more heat, I can get some more crackles out of it. Thank you, Carol Hun. Hi, Norma. Hey, Mary Lou. Right, Lisa? It's hard to fight the urge, isn't it? Giselle, really? Wow, we have a lot in common, hun. 10 years ago, Pamela, I'm so sorry. Aw, thank you, Lisa. Several years. Sorry, I gotta see the rest of your message there. Since you left, oh, Kim. Ugh. Oh, that breaks my heart for you. It's something we just have to learn to live with, I guess. But I don't think it ever goes away. So keep that in mind with your fine line crackle. Don't worry if you're not seeing as much as you think. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that, guys. Just hit it with a little bit more heat. Now I can already see it starting on the side here. So a lot of times what I will do is just that. I will let it sit. I'll come back to it the next morning. I put a little more heat on it. That's okay, Shauna Hun. We appreciate it. My husband always fixes a prime rib dinner. Then we play games. That sounds nice, Linda. I have never been a prime rib kind of girl. I don't know. I just don't care for it. Isn't that weird? I know, sweet Giselle, you poor thing. That's so tough. And often how it happens, isn't it? When you lose one, you might lose the other fairly quickly. No, it doesn't, Marianne. Agreed. Is that a reason you started crafting? I mean, I think I did it for so many different reasons, and one of them is definitely like to occupy my mind because I can just focus on just this one thing, you know? Hi, Kim. And I think that's good for all of us, right? Whatever your little hobbies are. It's just one thing we have to focus on, and we can give that time to ourselves, I feel. So yeah, I'll leave this sit overnight. I will come back to this tomorrow morning more often than not. Hey, Patty, nice to see you. I like that too, Kim. That's my favorite. Oh, that sounds good. I might have to ask Greg to put something on the smoker. And I'll hit it with a little bit more heat. Sometimes you can hear the crackle happening. That's pretty satisfying. And when I think I'm good and I have all the crackle that I'm gonna get, that's when I complete, you know, whatever it is that I'm putting in the cracks. So like a wax paste. Hey, Mimi, nice to see you. Aw, Jennifer, I wish you could too, hon. Thank you. You can use the pigment powders, which we often do, to put in that crack. And once I've got that all wiped back, then I come in with my solvent-based, and it's helped you tremendously. Kim, my gosh, hon, I can't even imagine that. Hi, Holly, welcome into you. And then I'll come in and put my sealer on. But just remember, it must be think this is actually open. Oh my Lanta. It has to be the solvent based. Fine line crackle from Pentart is the only one that needs that one. The other crackle systems, you can use what you'd like. And if you ever have questions or you're not 100% sure, what did Kelly say? Just let me know. You don't either, Sheila. I'm glad I'm not alone, because I think a lot of people say, what, you don't like it? Hey, from Georgia, Holly, welcome into you. Hi, Susan. Any way to reactivate a dry wax paste? Gosh, what did somebody tell me recently? Because I have a gold one that is kind of dry. Jill, are you still on here, my darling? I think it was Miriam who told me how to do it, and I'm not coming up with what she told me to put in there. But I bet our Jill would know if she is still here. And Carol, if she isn't, I will find out for you. That does sound so good, Carrie. I haven't had a good steak in a while. All right, so we are getting some beautiful crackle here. I personally just love this type of crackle. It's my favorite. I do like to do like your traditional crackle, I will say, where you put down usually a darker color. Let's say you do black, and let that dry. Then you put your one component crackle system on there. I appreciate that, Jennifer. Hi, Cynthia. And you would let that dry, and then you would put your lighter color on top of that. And when you dry that, the black is going to crackle through, you know, your lighter color. It is very pricey. It definitely can be. Hi, Brenda. And that I think is pretty too. It just kind of depends on the project, you know. Hi, Sue. I love doing that on like wooden frames all the way around, doing your kind of your traditional crackle on there. But this one, I just love the look of it. I can't help it. It's very satisfying when you see that crackle happening. We'll do a little bit more here on this side, and then I will show you that. Hi, Darlene. It's so nice to have you. Thank you guys for the likes and the hearts. I see a couple floating on by. So sometimes, let's say, hi, Brenda, nice to see you. I'm doing okay. No chicken or you will scratch all year. Carol, crab cakes, I've never had those. I hope you're doing good too, sweet Brenda. I know oftentimes when I do that, like a classic crackle, I would call it, Pentart metallic paste is phenomenal. I love it too. Hi, Erin from Erin's Crafty Delights. Nice to have you. Thank you for joining me. If you use that kind of traditional one component, it doesn't work very well on metallic paint, I have found. But fine line crackle, you can do on anything, and you can do on really any surface. So you just have to remember, you're not cracking the metallic paint. Step 2, crackle step 1, the actual product. And then we will do a little bit of the, let's see, what am I gonna use here? The pigment powder in the crackle so you can see this. My dad and mom are in heaven, and in 2000, I lost 4 older brothers in 17 months. Oh, Barbara, darling. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh, only 20. That is heartbreaking, sweet friend, and I did not know that, and I'm so sorry. Hi, Sue. Hi, Linda Lee. Nice to see you. I would think I'd love crab cakes because I love crab. Seafood, all the things. So we're going to do a little metal pigment powder on here. I think we're going to do the gold, and this is a Pentart product also. This is probably my go-to for most times. But certain colors, the silver is beautiful. There's white gold, there's copper, there's a rose gold. They're all just beautiful. It is made different. You are right, Lisa. I found that out the hard way. I was like, why is it not working? What the heck? Okay. So I'm going to kind of focus on an area where I see that there's still kind of a big gap there. Hi, Beverly. Allergies to seafood. That is a stinker. Crab cakes are yum. I don't know why I've never had them. Hi, Mickey. So nice to see you. Good afternoon, sweet Beverly. So now, for example, if I were not doing the live, right? Hi, sweet Riri. How are you, hun? I would set this in front of my fan, and a lot of places where maybe some of that crackle is not showing would start to crack a little bit more because I just had so much heat on it. So let me see if I can get you a good picture there. See that crackle? It is such a fun group. I love it too, Carol. Isn't that so pretty? Hi, Phyllis. So nice to see you. All right, so my hands can be kind of sweaty. It's not my favorite quality. Me Too Girl asked us how we know that. Exactly. So if you have the same issue, I would definitely put little gloves on for this part. How are you, Riri? Is your surprise there? Thank you, Carol. Mickey, it came from this little mold right here, a redesign mold. Thank you, Caroline. I appreciate it so much. So now we're going to take a little of this metal pigment. Make sure your fan is off when you do this part with powders. I like to use just a little fan brush here. Thanks, Jean. You see it too, Carrie? Good. I'm so glad. Then we're going to just put our powder any place we have that crackle, and I'll go back and do those little inside parts. Like this. We're going to go up here. We'll do one side together here. So you can kind of see the difference. And then to wipe it back, you just want to use a dry paper towel. Hi, Cheryl. I'm glad you guys see it. I love it too, Lisa. Or a soft cloth. You can use a little microfiber cloth. That works really good. If you use the paste like this, the wax paste, you don't need a ton of it. So just a little bit on a brush or on your finger, kind of smear it around there. If you have an issue with it kind of spreading nicely, you can put a little heat to it to warm it up just a little bit. Thank you, Cheryl. And that'll help spread it around a little bit easier. And then we're just coming back in here and wiping away the excess. And I will show you what I mean when I say if some of it just kind of does its own thing, I let it be. And I'll show you because I see that happening. Hi, Munyel, sweet lady. It is metal pigment powder. You got it, hun. Thank you, Sheila. So then all we want left behind is that color in the cracks. And I'll tell you in a second here when I show you why this did what it did. But I don't get upset about it at all. It's totally okay. Now, for example, right there, I must have missed a little bit. Hi, sweet Cheyenne. So nice to see you. Hey, Cindy. You can come in with a little transparent wax paste. Hi, Grace, darling. Nice to see you. You sent me a long message. I was up so late, Riri. I'm sorry I didn't see it. You can come in with a little clear wax paste, just like this. This is Pentart also. And where some of that pigment powder went, it's just kind of sitting on there because I must not have had enough product there. So a wax will remove some of that. Yes, you definitely could, Rennie. Absolutely. Thanks, Denise. So then I just come in with my finger, a little bit of that clear to kind of take that away. So look right here on the bottom portion of the fleur. Moniel, it was good. I hope it was for you too. That may be, hi Linda, where a little of my Type On Quick and Thick might have come out that I didn't swipe away with my brush. I don't mind it, but again, you can take a little bit of that wax paste in the transparent. Use my finger to put a little bit of that on there, then take my little paper towel and wipe away, and I can remove some of that excess pigment powder. So if you used wax on here, and you got some where you didn't want it, same thing. A wax removes a wax. So if you use the transparent wax there, because we don't really want to give it any other color, it'll take some of that off for you. So then you can see that gorgeous crackle. Isn't that so pretty? Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Carrie. With blue crab, interesting. So what I might do is try to come in with component 2 just in that spot really lightly with a little brush. Otherwise I will leave it be and it'll be perfectly okay. So I'm going to do the side here so you can see the same thing. You have some gorgeous crackle there. Thanks, Kim. Hi, Colleen. How is Cindy today? So nice to have ya. To have ya after Christmas, to see all my girls. Any guys that might be on, we welcome you too. Thanks, Ruth. I missed it. What? Oh, I will hold it up for you, darling. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I'm glad you like it. Check out this on the side. Oh my gosh. This is the metal pigment that I'm using. Hi, Anna. Thank you, sweet Shauna. Oh, how exciting, Maniel. I'm so excited for you. Hi, Douglas. So there is the crackle on the side. That is so pretty. Thank you, sweet Phyllis. And if I hit this with a little bit more heat, which I will be doing periodically tonight, or a little bit in front of my fan, I'm gonna get even more crackles in there. I hope you had a great holiday as well, Colleen. Hi, Jennifer. All right, so let's just do the rest of this side as long as we have it out. Why not? You're gonna get varying size crackles. And I think that's what I love the most. It just kind of does its own thing. You're so welcome. Thanks, Courtney. Thank you, Barbara. If we, you know, bought a bottle like this, let's say for an example, it certainly is not going to be perfect. So I sometimes am okay with that. You know what I mean? Unless I really, really messed it up. I try to tell myself, just let it go. Let it go. So if I was touching this now with my sweaty, wet hands, hi, Shoop, nice to see you. It would get super gummed up on me. Hi, Rebecca. Absolutely, sweet Lynn. Hold on one second, my dear. All right, couple more spots there where you can see it. It's like super heavy. See that gold there? Hi, Deborah. Take a little bit of your transparent wax, if that bothers ya, and I can rub it right away. And now it's not so heavy there. That was a wonderful thing to learn about. When I learned about it, I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Hi, Alice, nice to see you. I haven't forgot you. I'm gonna show you that mold. Hold on one second, my dear friend. And some of those areas, I really like how that looks. It's a different kind of crackle. Hi, Trisha. Last year was in the hospital. Sweet Phyllis, I'm so glad that you were home. And sometimes those are the best kind, aren't they? Okay. Here is that mold, my friend. So you have 2 different styles there. Hi, Vicky. Thanks, Denise. Thank you, sweet Shauna. I'm glad you like it. I have done crackle, fine line crackle on like a, we'll say like a vintagey pink. It's called Vera at the Ballet from Paint Couture. And do a crackle on that and make it kind of vintage looking that way with a gold, even a silver. It is beautiful. Thank you, Kim. Hi, Karen. It works fantastic, Lynn. I wish I'd have known that long ago. Hi, Connie. Oh my goodness, girl, take it easy. You don't have to stay on. Get some water. Hi, Connie, nice to have you. Thank you, Maniel. Hi, Linda. Just doing the top there. And now there are some spots like that too on the top where there's just a little bit more of that gold deposited down there. Okay, good, Lynn. I'm sorry. Joyce Ann, it is so nice to have you. My Christmas was good. I hope yours was also. I'm going to leave that because I like how that looks. All right, so I will probably fix that little spot up top. For now, we'll call it good on the powder. Where was the mold from? The wax suite, Shauna, it's transparent wax from Pentart. It's just clear. Thanks, Kathy. And the mold is from Redesign. Hi, Charlotte. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Carol Ann. So pretty. And it's Form Flex that I used in the mold on this one. But you could definitely do clay. You could do Premier clay. That's that really lightweight. You could do resin, whatever your choice, you know. Pixie dough, a lot of people use that. So let's come in. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of the gold wax paste. I really wish I knew what it was to kind of reactivate this. I'm definitely going to find that out for us. If you have a wax paste that's maybe been hanging around a little bit, that's okay, Kathy, of course. And I do. And Miriam told me what to put in it, and I can't recall. So I'm going to just hit a little bit of those like raised areas on here. And when I am ready to seal this, I will seal the fleur-de-lis as well, so that it all kind of looks like it was meant to be, you know. Now you can also do this on, hi Twyla, nice to see ya. You're welcome, my beautiful Shauna. I have done it on like the amber bottles, green bottles, the blue cobalt bottles, where you do the fine line right over the bottle, nothing else, so that you're still seeing that beautiful color bottle, and it is gorgeous, I gotta tell ya. So if you see those and that's kind of something you like, try it. It's so pretty. I have a little red bottle here I'd like to try it on too. All right, so there is the Fleur. Hi, sweet Karen Jean, without anything. And then there it is with that gold wax paste. So it just adds some depth and some detail. I love it. Joyce Ann, I do too. It's my favorite. These parts are my fave. And super easy to put on with your finger. I usually have a little bit better control with my finger, but you can use a little brush too. Just hold it a little bit flatter, I would say, so that you're only getting those raised areas. Okay. So what I'm going to do on here after the fact is right in these little spots, you can see some of the bottle through there. I'm going to put that component 1 and 2 in there, so we get a little bit of crackle in there as well. Thank you guys. Hi, Chris. Thank you, Kim. Thanks, Carol and Denise. I'm going to do that on both sides. I will probably put this in front of my fan for a little bit, then do a little bit more heat, and mineral oil or warm water bath. Does that sound familiar? I'm not 100% sure. Sometimes my memory really slips up on me. You definitely need that mold. It is a beautiful one, Della. There was like a, there's a website out there where people who might have been stockists or what have you are, you know, getting rid of their stuff, and they sell them like a stash of things, all different kinds of stuff. That might be where I got that one, but I think I've seen it on Etsy also. Thanks, Carrie. Okay, let it sit for a little bit. I will do my metal pigment powder again here after I've done that with a little bit of fan air on it, and then some more heat tomorrow morning or later this evening. And then I will seal everything. And then we'll be adding some little rhinestones on here, I think. We'll do our little topper. It'll just sit right in there. Let's see if that matches even. It's pretty coppery in comparison, so I might come in, yeah, we're gonna come in with a little gold on there as well. Hi Lindell, nice to see you. So that's the amazing thing about wax paste. This is a little bit more coppery colored, which is beautiful. I like it, but I want it to match, right? So I'm gonna come in with some of that wax paste right over this guy. It's a nice metal holder. or topper, I should say. But otherwise you can paint it, you can do all the things. My recommendation would just be prime it first because it's a slippery surface. You just want to give your paint something to hold on to. And then you can deck it out however you would like. I think it needs a pink Keli-Kat ribbon. Pink would be quite something, huh? Wow, I wouldn't have thought to go with that, Carol, but I like it. And then basically your waxes, if you think about them, they're self-sealing products. So I don't have to seal this. I like to just let it kind of sit, not necessarily dry, but kind of in a way, we'll say. And then it does not have to be sealed. I will seal it with, I will hold it up for you, sweet Eileen. Isn't that so fun, Joyce Ann? I love it too. So now we have more gold, not copper, and it's gonna match a lot better on here. A lot better, right? Okay. So you have to seal with that solvent-based varnish. This is one of them. It says solvent-based in that little orange box. And that is for the fine line crackle. So a solvent base, this is another option. It says gloss clear varnish. This is a solvent base from Pentart also. So the whole fine line crackle system and sealers can be found on TH Decor. I see a couple more little spots here that need just a little more where that copper is kind of on the edges. A little bit more. Hi, Tracy. A Keli-Kat bundle sounds good. Thanks, Rennie. Thank you, Phyllis. All right, we'll kind of have to see. And then I'll be putting on those little fleurs. Let's open one so you get a better idea. Ooh, that's real pretty. Yes, definitely glad we chose the big one. That'll go in the middle. Well, absolutely, Carol, it's my pleasure. It's what I love to do. So that'll be blung out a little bit, we'll call it. And I'll save those little ones for something else. So yes, I will seal everything then when I'm done and happy with the crackle. Like for example, right here, there's a bigger area. I will say right above my finger. I can hit that with a little bit more heat after it's been in front of my fan, and I can get that to crackle. And then once I seal it, that crackle is gonna stop. You can't do the heat anymore. You can't get any more crackle. That sealer is what kind of stops that process from happening. All righty, ready? Okay. I would come in and do the rhinestones now, but I wanna seal first and then do the rhinestones. House hippos are causing a stir. No problem, sweet Denise. Thank you for being here, hun. I appreciate it so very much. So that is what I have for my sweet friends today. I had to get on here with all of you guys. Oh, I love that topper on there. I think it's perfect. Took lots of notes. You're so welcome, Eileen. You can always go back and watch replay, right? That way you can fast forward through the stuff. Hi, Tina. Nice to see you. So you don't have to watch all of it, you know? So to recap, we did New Penny from Paint Pixie and Metallic Licorice here. Hi, Tana. Nice to see you. Tana, I'm so sorry if that's incorrect. And I just mixed those together. I did a little bit of this antique copper from Folk Art Metallic. Thank you, Pamela. Mixed it together in a little, like a condiment container here that I could put a lid on. First, I primed my bottle with something called Zinsser Spray Primer. I love it, but you can use, this is my second favorite to paint on from Paint Couture. Hello, let's see, Connie, welcome to you. You as well, sweet Rennie. And then let that dry. I painted it with a coat or two. Hi, Becky, darling. Thank you, Kathy. Just a chalk paint that I get from Michael's. And I like to do that because it really helps you to not have to use several coats of whatever paint color you're putting on it, especially if it's a metallic. Thank you, Eileen. Tana, like Montana. Good, I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you for putting that. That's perfect. Then we put on step 1 and step 2 of Fine Line Crackle that comes from Pentart. We dried well in between each component. We used a clean dry brush for each component. Then we used a little metal pigment powder in gold from PentArt. Could you use a chalk paint as a primer? I personally wouldn't, Kim, on anything that is slippery or has a smooth surface. Thank you, sweet Liz. You too. Hi, Deborah. You really want to give your paint something to grab onto, and that's why we want to use a primer. Hey, Deborah. So that's just me personally. If it's something like a wood sign, I wouldn't necessarily have to prime. Then I would come in right with my chalk paint if I wanted to put rice paper on or paint or do some kind of other crackle. But slippery surfaces, glass, metal, ceramic, anything like that, I would prime first. That's just me. So then we did the metal pigment powder in the fine cracks there, and we used a dry paper towel to wipe back the excess. I'm gonna let this do a little bit more crackling in front of a fan, and with my heat tool, I'll do my pigment powder again just to fill in any that I missed. I will seal then with my glossy solvent-based varnish, come in with my rhinestones and all the goodies to embellish it up. I'll finish the bottom, and we'll call it a day on this one. So fun. Do you guys want to see how far I've gotten on the canvas with the roses and such? I would love for you to see it. It's still in process because I can only make so many of the molds at one time. Hi, sweet Judy Davis. You're welcome, sweet Kim, anytime. So now, like, my hands are definitely slimy from being inside there, inside those gloves. So I don't want to touch it. I use a paper towel if I want to move it. Just giving you a heads up. Hi, June. Nice to see you. All right, I'm going to show you. For those of you who saw me working on this, this is what I have so far. What do you guys think? It's very different, isn't it? So these are two different canvases here. I have glued them together now. It's a 8x10 on the small one. I'm sorry, this is the small one, and an 11x14 canvas, like a panel. Hi, Crystal. So I made some of the vines there out of Formflex. Just rolled skinny pieces of it, let it dry for a good 24 hours, if not more. I painted it with that same khaki matte green from PentArt. Thank you, Sheila. I used heavy body gel to put down all those Formflex pieces. And I have just a couple more roses I would want to put on there. Thanks, guys. I'm glad you do. I think it's really, really fun so far. And then I do still really want to find a frame for this to go in. I would love if I could do that. Oh, guys, I appreciate that so much. So it's coming along. I think it came out so far so good. I added gold wax paste to all the little vines there. And I just kind of wanted to continue what was going on the rice paper. Thank you, guys. The little wooden door. I think it's just kind of fun and different. Hey, Teresa, nice to have you. So I've been working on that. The next frame we're going to do, we are going to use this beautiful rice paper from Reba Rose called Romantic Roses. Hi, Rachel. Nice to see you, Teresa. Thank you, Jean. So I have a frame that I have primed with that 2-in-1 primer I showed you. Thanks, Stella. And I just think she is very stunning. So we'll be doing a frame with her. Well, thanks, Carol. That is fun. First time watcher. Hey, Robin. So nice to have you. Thank you, Eileen. Welcome in anybody who was new. I appreciate you guys being here. I hope that you will come back and see us often. Let's see here. I might be able to come on tomorrow. I will send a telegram if I am. If you need my telegram, type in your comments, !notify. I did, Jean. I so had fun with that. And anytime you use an exclamation point chatbot, your whatever follows it is going to be lowercase with no spaces. So !notify will give you back a little notification that you can click on that will take you to my telegram. Down on the bottom, click join, and then you will get notified when I go live. It'd be so cool if the vines and a couple roses continue over the frame edge. That would be wonderful, Victoria. I think so too. Hi, Gloria. Nice to have you. So that's what I got for you guys today. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it so much. I love you all to the moon and back, they always say, right? And I hope to see you again soon. So have a wonderful evening. Stay warm, stay safe. Know that I love you, and we'll see you again soon. Take good care. Bye-bye.